How many black celebrities have silently battled drug addiction while maintaining their public image? While their success may have shined brightly, their struggles with addiction were far more intense than fans realized. In this video, leave a comment with the number 1, and we will explore the stories of black celebrities who faced harsh battles with addiction. First on the list is the sad story of DMX, whose real name was Earl Simmons. DMX was a music legend, known for his distinctive voice and impactful lyrics. At the height of his career, DMX seemed unstoppable with hits like Party Up and Rough Riders Anthem. But behind the fame, DMX struggled with a severe drug addiction from a very young age. He opened up about being introduced to cocaine when he was only 14 years old. This addiction haunted him for decades, leading to numerous arrests and stints in rehab. Despite his efforts to maintain his career, the addiction continued to pull him down, causing much concern among the public. DMX's addiction affected his health and personal life, leaving a lasting impact on his legacy. His life became a continuous cycle of getting clean and falling back into old habits. It was a tough battle that garnered attention and made fans around the world worried. He once shared in an interview that he wanted to stop, but it was hard to escape the grip of addiction. Despite facing countless difficulties, DMX continued to work on his music and faith, but addiction played a major role in his downfall. Rick James was a legendary musician in the funk and R&B genres with hit songs like Super Freak and Give It To Me Baby. His music was full of energy, and his life was just as vibrant, but his personal life was filled with chaos, much of it caused by drug addiction. Rick James openly admitted to a severe cocaine addiction that spanned many years, which led to erratic behavior, including several run-ins with the law. There was a time when his drug addiction became so severe that it destroyed his music career and tarnished his reputation. James was known for his wild lifestyle, but even his closest friends admitted that drugs had taken him to a very dangerous place. He was arrested multiple times for various offenses, including kidnapping and assault, all while under the influence of drugs. His addiction was so severe that he admitted to spending $7,000 a week on cocaine. Despite having fame and fortune, Rick James couldn't control his life, and drugs only made everything worse. It wasn't until later in life that he attempted to change, but the damage to his body and career had already been done. Richard Pryor is one of the most groundbreaking comedians of all time, transforming comedy with his candid, unflinching accounts of life, race, and society. However, Pryor's career was also deeply affected by drug addiction. He struggled with cocaine throughout his career, which often spilled into the public eye. One of the most shocking moments came in 1980, when he set himself on fire while using cocaine, an event that nearly took his life. It was a wake-up call for many fans who had witnessed the devastation that drugs had wreaked on his life. Pryor's drug addiction was no secret, as he spoke about it in his comedy routines, often highlighting the dark moments of his life. Despite multiple attempts to get clean, drugs continued to affect his relationships, career, and health. In his later years, Pryor faced serious health problems, including multiple sclerosis, but his past drug abuse certainly contributed to his declining health. Michael K. Williams, best known for his role as Omar Little in Asterisk. The Wire Asterisk was also an incredibly talented actor, but his life was deeply impacted by drug addiction. Williams struggled with substance abuse throughout his life, despite achieving great success in Hollywood. His addiction to cocaine and heroin began when he was a young man living in Brooklyn and continued to haunt him even after he became a star. Williams was always open about his struggles, admitting that he used drugs to escape the pain and trauma he experienced growing up. Even when his acting career was at its peak, Williams often found himself falling back into old habits. His addiction became so severe that it nearly cost him his role in *The Wire*. However, Williams made efforts to confront his demons by entering rehab and speaking openly about his struggles. Unfortunately, his battle with drugs ended in tragedy when he passed away from an overdose in 2021. Eddie Griffin is a comedian and actor known for his sharp wit and comedic performances in movies like Undercover Brother and Deuce Bigalow, Male Gigolo. However, Griffin's career was also affected by his struggles with addiction. He has openly admitted to his battles with alcohol and drugs in the past, revealing that he used substances to cope with the pressures of fame. Like many stars, he turned to drugs to deal with the highs and lows of Hollywood life. Griffin's addiction led to chaotic situations in his career, but he worked hard to turn his life around. In interviews, Griffin has talked about how difficult it was to break free from the cycle of addiction. He sought help and tried to focus on his career in comedy and acting, using laughter as a way to cope with his past. Although addiction caused many problems in his life, Griffin's story also shows that recovery is possible. He continues to work in the entertainment industry, and while the struggles of his past may still haunt him, he seems determined to stay on the right path. Marvin Gaye, the man behind timeless hits like What's Going On and Sexual Healing, possessed a powerful voice that touched the hearts of millions. However, behind the smooth melodies and emotional lyrics, Gaye faced a silent battle with drug addiction. His struggle with cocaine became more evident in the later stages of his career, especially as he dealt with financial troubles and personal issues. Gaye's drug use increased in the 1980s, severely affecting his mental health, relationships, and even his music. He became reclusive during dark times, trying to balance his career while fighting his inner demons. Despite his efforts to overcome addiction, it remained an ongoing struggle, making life difficult both on and off the stage. Sadly, Gaye's life ended tragically in 1984 when he was shot by his own father during a heated argument. Billie Holiday, known as Lady Day, was a jazz legend with a voice that could melt even the coldest of hearts. Her songs, like Strange Fruit and God Bless the Child, are timeless classics that still resonate today. However, Billie's life was not as smooth as her music. Behind the scenes, she struggled with a heroin addiction that began in the 1940s and lasted for much of her life. Her drug use led to legal troubles, causing her to serve time in prison for her addiction. Holiday's battle with drugs was widely known in the jazz world and had a significant impact on her career. Despite the difficulties in her life, Billie continued to perform, sometimes appearing on stage while under the influence of drugs. Her addiction weakened her health, and her personal relationships were also affected. She fought hard to maintain her career, but drugs often overshadowed her success. Holiday's life tragically ended in 1959, but her music remains a lasting testament to her incredible talent. Charlie Wilson, lead singer of the Gap Band, is best known for his upbeat funk and hits such as Outstanding and You Dropped a Bomb on Me. However, there was a time when Wilson struggled with serious drug and alcohol addiction, which almost ended his career. At the height of his career in the 1980s, Wilson became addicted to cocaine and alcohol. His addiction got so bad that he was homeless for a time, sleeping rough and struggling to survive. It was a painful fall from grace for someone who had achieved so much in the music industry. Wilson eventually sought help and entered rehab, determined to turn his life around. He became clean and became an advocate for others battling addiction. His journey is a story of redemption and perseverance, proving that it is never too late to change. Today, Wilson continues to perform and inspire others with his story of recovery, showing that even when things are at their darkest, there is always hope for a better future. Pimp C. As one half of the legendary rap duo UGK, Pimp C was a major figure in Southern rap, known for hits like International Players Anthem and Big Pimpin' with Jay-Z. Behind the scenes, however, Pimp C battled a severe addiction to lean, a mix of codeine, promethazine, and soda popular in the hip-hop community. This addiction ultimately contributed to his untimely death. His use of lean took a toll on Pimp C's health, and he frequently ran into legal trouble due to his addiction. Despite this, Pimp C continued to write and perform, but the effects of his addiction became apparent in 2007, when he died at the age of 33 from an overdose of prescription cough suppressants. Pimp C's death was a wake-up call to the dangers of lean and addiction in the music industry. Redman, a rapper known for songs like Time for Some Action and D-Rock Welder, has always been open about his love of marijuana. However, there was a period in his career when he relied heavily on the drug to cope with the pressures of fame and the fast-paced life in Hollywood. Although marijuana is generally considered a mild drug, Redman has admitted that it significantly affected his behavior and mood during that time. Over the years, Redman has spoken about how he learned to balance his love of marijuana with a healthier lifestyle, understanding the difference between use and abuse. He has also become an advocate for the legalization of marijuana, but encourages people to use it responsibly. While Redman's addiction was not as severe as that of other celebrities, his story shows that even mild drugs can have an impact if not used properly. Dogg, known for his smooth hooks in 90s and early 2000s rap hits like Regulate with Warren G and songs with Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre, struggled with addiction to alcohol and other substances throughout his life. Dogg's addictions became more apparent as his health began to decline. In the mid-2000s, he suffered multiple strokes, leaving him unable to perform and in poor health. Sadly, Dogg passed away in 2011 at the age of 41. Tracy Morgan. Tracy Morgan, beloved for his comedic roles in movies and TV shows, has had a long-standing battle with alcoholism. This addiction has led to serious incidents, including several near-fatal car accidents. After a major accident in 2014 that left him seriously injured, Morgan committed to changing his life, becoming sober, and focusing on his physical and mental health. Lauryn Hill, a Grammy Award-winning artist with the album The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, has struggled with fame and addiction. Although she was at the height of her career in the late 1990s, her life changed dramatically when she began to withdraw from the public eye, partly due to her struggles with drugs and the pressures of celebrity. Her addiction to marijuana and other substances led to erratic behavior and halted her music career. Despite this, Lauryn Hill remains a respected figure in the music industry and has worked to get her life and career back on track in recent years. Don Cornelius, founder and host of Soul Train, was a pioneer in bringing African-American culture into the mainstream. However, Cornelius's later years were marked by health problems, depression, and painkiller addiction. His addiction began after several surgeries, and the painkillers he used to manage the pain became a dependency. The addiction affected his mood and mental health, and in 2012, Don Cornelius took his own life. Charlie Parker, a jazz legend and saxophonist, left a lasting mark on the music world. However, behind the soaring saxophone melodies was a struggle with heroin and alcohol addiction. Parker's addiction to heroin and alcohol was well known, and it often disrupted his personal and professional life. The pressure of fame combined with the ghosts in his mind pushed him into addiction, Despite this, Parker continued to perform and compose music, changing the course of jazz forever. However, his addiction took a serious toll on his health, leading to multiple stints in rehab facilities and periods of career stagnation. Even at the height of his musical career, addiction cast a shadow over his life. Sadly, Parker died in 1955 at the age of 34, leaving behind a legacy that was both brilliant and tragic. Chaka Khan, the queen of funk with hits like Ain't Nobody and I'm Every Woman, is known for her powerful vocals and charismatic stage presence. However, even the legendary diva couldn't escape the lure of addiction. Throughout the 1980s, Chaka struggled with alcohol and drug addiction, especially cocaine. However, Chaka didn't let her addiction define her life. She sought help and committed to sobriety. Over the years, Chaka has been candid about her recovery journey, using her platform to raise awareness about addiction and inspire others to seek help. Her story is an example of resilience, showing that even in difficult times, we can still thrive. Mystikal, a rapper known for hits like Shake Ya Ass and Danger, brought a powerful energy to the music scene in the late 1990s and early 2000s. With his distinctive voice and fast-paced rapping style, Mystikal quickly became a household name. However, fame brought its own challenges, and Mystikal struggled with addiction. His addictions became part of a series of legal troubles, including multiple stints in prison. Despite the ups and downs in his personal and professional life, Mystikal has struggled to come back, opening up about his past mistakes, including how addiction led to some dark times in his life. Although his journey has not been easy, Mystikal continues to move forward, showing that the battle against addiction is a constant one. KCI, one half of the R&B duo Key and JoJo, is known for his soulful vocals and passionate performances on hits like All My Life and Tell Me It's Real. Along with his brother JoJo, KCI dominated the R&B charts in the 90s. However, behind the smooth melodies and heartfelt lyrics was a serious struggle with addiction. KCI battled alcoholism for years, and his addiction became public when it began to affect his performances. The alcoholism caused tension within the group and contributed to the duo's difficulty maintaining their previous success. However, both KCI and JoJo realized the need to stay sober and take control of their lives. KCI has been actively working toward recovery, and the duo has gone on several comeback tours, much to the delight of their fans. D'Angelo, who captivated audiences with his talent and charm in the late 90s, was an R&B heartthrob. However, while fans viewed him as an R&B heartthrob, D'Angelo was dealing with his own inner demons. His addiction to alcohol and drugs began to escalate after the success of his album Voodoo. D'Angelo withdrew from music for a long time, and his addiction played a major role in his absence. For years, he lived out of the public eye, battling his addiction and focusing on recovery. His appearance changed dramatically during that time, and many fans were concerned about his health. However, in 2014, D'Angelo made a strong comeback with the album Black Messiah, proving that while his addiction may have slowed him down, it couldn't stop him from creating powerful and meaningful music. One of the most unique and unpredictable members of the Wu-Tang Clan, ODB stood out for his raw energy and wild personality. However, beneath that rebellious exterior was a relentless battle with addiction that followed him throughout his life. The fame that came with ODB's success only made his problems worse as drugs took over his life. Addiction and legal problems overshadowed ODB's talent, leading him to face arrest on multiple occasions for drug possession. His untimely death in 2004 at the age of 35 was a sad end to a life filled with potential but marred by addiction. While he left behind a rich musical legacy, it's hard not to feel weighed down by what might have been had he been able to escape the grip of drugs. His story is one of brilliance and heartbreak, one ended too soon by a battle he couldn't win. Scottie Pippen, the basketball legend who helped the Chicago Bulls win 6 NBA championships, is known for his incredible skills on the court, but it is less well known that Pippen also had personal struggles that affected his life off the court. While not as publicly discussed as others, there have been rumors that his addiction issues contributed to some of the struggles he faced in his personal life. Although Pippen's public image was always that of a calm and focused player, addiction touched parts of his life that fans rarely saw. Like many athletes, the pressure to perform at a high level came with its own struggles, and there were occasional rumors that he struggled with addiction. Pippen's family life, including the tragic loss of his son, also added to the emotional burden he carried. While still an icon in basketball, there is a quiet sadness in knowing that even great champions like Pippen are not immune to the challenges life brings. It may come as a surprise to many to learn that Samuel L. Jackson, one of the most successful actors in Hollywood, struggled with addiction before becoming the face we know today through films like Pulp Fiction and The Avengers. Jackson had a dark period in his life, where cocaine and alcohol dominated his life in the 1980s. Jackson's addiction nearly disrupted his career and personal life. He has spoken publicly about how his addiction consumed him, leading to moments of despair and self-destruction. Jackson's turning point came when he realized that he could lose everything if he didn't seek help. His family, especially his wife LaTanya, played a major role in his recovery. Jackson went to rehab and turned his life around, rebuilding his career and becoming one of the most beloved actors of his generation. Paul Mooney, a comedian and screenwriter known for his sharp wit and working closely with Richard Pryor, brought humor to some of society's toughest issues. However, behind the tough exterior was a man who faced his own personal battles with addiction. Mooney struggled with drugs throughout his career, and many believe it was a result of the pressures of the entertainment industry and the difficult topics he tackled. A close friend and collaborator of Richard Pryor, Mooney was no stranger to the world of addiction. While not as publicly discussed as Pryor's problems, Mooney's own struggles affected his life in profound yet private ways. Mooney passed away in 2021, leaving behind a legacy of great comedic music, but also a reminder of the personal impact that fame and the pressure to face the truth can have. Nate Robinson, who wowed the world with his impressive performances on the court, has had his own personal struggles in his post-NBA life, including a battle with addiction that came to light after his career ended. Robinson has faced many challenges adjusting to life outside of professional sports, and addiction has been one of the toughest battles. The pressure of maintaining a stellar career, transitioning to life after the NBA, and personal struggles have all contributed to his struggles with drugs. Although he has tried to keep his personal life private, Nate Robinson's story continues, and fans hope he can find peace and overcome the challenges he has faced in his post-basketball life. If you enjoy these insightful stories and want to hear more like them, don't forget to subscribe. Stay tuned so you don't miss out on great content, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you stay updated. Your support helps us continue to deliver stories that matter.